You no longer need to buy seasoning from the store because now you can make your own delicious seasoning at home without any preservatives. Hi everyone, I'm Nancy. Today, I'm going to show you how to make a simple seasoning from mushrooms and vegetables. This seasoning is made from fresh ingredients, easy to prepare, and helps bring out natural flavor without adding salt. Let's get started. Before we begin cooking, let's talk about one element that makes a big difference in flavor but is often overlooked: umami. Umami is what gives food that deep, satisfying taste that feels rich and comforting, even when the dish isn't salty. It's the reason restaurant soups, vegetables, and sauces taste fuller and more rounded than what we often cook at home. One of the best natural sources of umami is mushrooms. Some varieties, such as button mushrooms or shiitake mushrooms, are well known for their rich flavor. Along with mushrooms, you may also like to use simple, familiar vegetables such as daikon radish, carrots, kohlrabi, onion, and garlic. All of these ingredients are easy to find, affordable, and work beautifully together. First, wash the mushrooms and vegetables thoroughly and let them drain. If you are short on time, you can also use a dry towel to gently pat them dry. Before continuing, I'd love to know where you're watching from today. Please leave a comment and say hello. It always makes me happy to see friends joining from different places. Next, to bring out the natural umami flavor, technique is just as important as the ingredients themselves. Mushrooms do not need to be cut neatly or perfectly. What we want is as much surface area as possible. The more surface that is exposed, the better the flavor will develop. Simply use a knife and slice the mushrooms thinly so they can dry more easily. Once sliced, place all of the mushrooms onto a baking tray lined with parchment paper and set them aside. After preparing the mushrooms, we move on to the accompanying vegetables that help round out the flavor and add natural sweetness. Peel all of the vegetables cleanly. This step is very important, especially when you are drying ingredients to make seasoning. Any dirt or tough skin can affect the final flavor. Then, slice all of the vegetables thinly. They do not need to be perfect or evenly sized. Thin slices simply help the vegetables dry evenly and release their natural flavor more effectively. Once all of the vegetables are sliced, gently mix them together and spread them evenly over the sliced mushrooms on the baking tray. Try not to layer them too thickly. Good airflow is key here. The goal is to dry the ingredients slowly and evenly, not to cook them aggressively. Oven temperature is more important than many people realize. This is where many homemade seasonings fail. If the temperature is too low, the vegetables will dry but lack flavor. If it is too high, they will burn, and bitterness will remain in the powder. A gentle oven temperature of about 90 degrees Celsius to 104 degrees Celsius, or 195 degrees Fahrenheit to 230 degrees Fahrenheit, works best. This temperature range allows moisture to escape while preserving the vegetable's natural flavor. As the vegetables dry, pay close attention to their color. Light brown edges are a good sign. Dark brown is also acceptable. Black spots mean they have dried for too long. Once fully dried, the vegetables should be completely dry and brittle. You may even hear them snap or crumble between your fingers. That crisp, dry texture is the sign that everything is ready to be ground into a fine, flavorful seasoning powder. Place all of the dried mushrooms and vegetables into a blender and grind them into a fine powder. Once blended, pour the powder through a sieve and gently sift it to make it smooth and fine. When you grind dried mushrooms and vegetables into a powder, you may notice something interesting. The aroma is deep and savory, but if you taste a small amount on its own, it may not immediately feel strong or exciting. That is completely normal. Pure umami powder is rich in natural glutamic acid. But umami does not shine on its own. It needs a small amount of salt to awaken the flavor. Think of salt not as the main flavor, but as a switch that turns the umami on. I learned this lesson the hard way, the first time I made seasoning. I mixed salt directly into the powder because I thought that was the proper way to season food. The dishes tasted good, but later I realized I had limited myself. Once salt is mixed in, you can no longer adjust the amount of salt. I recommend keeping your umami powder unsalted. When cooking, simply add a small amount of salt directly to the dish. This way, you can enjoy the full depth of flavor without accidentally making the food too salty. It is a small change, but it will definitely change the way you use this seasoning in your kitchen. Once the umami powder is finished, take a moment to observe it. Different batches may have slightly different colors depending on how deeply the ingredients were roasted. Some may be lighter, some darker, but the aroma should always be warm, savory, and inviting. This truly is a seasoning you can use on everything. You can sprinkle it into soups, over roasted vegetables, onto eggs in the morning, or even onto buttered toast. It is wonderful with meat, fish, salads, French fries, and just about anything else you cook. I'm curious, how would you use this seasoning in your kitchen small? Thoughtful choices like making your own seasoning from real ingredients can make everyday meals taste better and feel healthier at the same time. Take it slow, adjust things to your own taste, and don't be afraid to make it your own. I hope this little tip helps you feel more confident and comfortable in your kitchen. Thanks for spending this time with me, and I'll see you in the next video.